Welcome everybody to our live stream. So those were some interesting questions in our introduction there. And yes, to add to that, I would also like to ask you, are you searching for the ideal work or a path where you can easily make money? Do you dream of having your own business and making a difference in the world? Or are you yearning to live your dream while also earning a substantial income? Or perhaps you're already working in a dream job, you just need to find ways to monetize it. So if any of these questions resonate with you, then you would want to pay attention to what we have to share today. So Peace Evolution is a platform where we evolve inner peace for humanity. But it's also a platform where your unique skills, talents, and temperament are not just recognized, but it becomes a crucial part of living your meaning and your purpose. So yes, if you are resonating with what I'm saying, please stay tuned. We are going to discuss very exciting collaborative partner opportunities today, specifically for subject matter experts on YouTube. And then I just quickly want to mention that we are a startup organization. And if you would like to contribute and support us in our endeavors to spread this message that we have of a recipe for inner peace for humanity, then we would appreciate any contributions to that. And then if you're watching the replay, you're welcome to also contribute through our super thanks functionality there. You'll see there's a button that you can select to contribute. Okay, right, so let me bring Emmanuel on stage. Welcome, Emmanuel.
Hello, Linda, and thanks for that lovely introduction, and also for telling about our super chats and our thanks. And I'm certainly excited to be here today. I could certainly jump out of my skin to share with the viewers now during the live stream as well as during the replay video. This is a very big step in our lives, what we are talking about here today. And we spoke about it, I think, 2 days ago as well. And I would like to bring to everybody's attention that this is serious business, very, very serious business, to evolve inner peace. It's not about that we are monkeying around. It's a serious business that we're in. Nevertheless, we found ways to talk about it in a relatively easy terminology. The long and the short of the story is I'm excited to bring today's message, and maybe it works for you or maybe it doesn't work for you. Either way, we'd love to hear from you in the comments, whether this is the replay video or whether this is the full-on live stream. Tell us about anything that comes up while we are talking about this. I would like to add, Linda, that we are now used to our topic and we don't necessarily have the understanding of somebody who comes into it brand new. So if I could share a little bit of that, my journey started many, many years ago. I then, in my introspection, uncovered something, and I want to bring that as part of the message of peace evolution. And this is not a gimmick, this is not a pyramid scheme, this is not anything other than real, live, genuine, that we want to evolve inner peace with humanity. It's not about anything else. And you might not believe us today, but we are going to persist and persist and persist. And maybe in a month from now, or in a year from now, or in 5 years from now, you're going to say, these guys are just not going away. We are not going to go away. We are going to just keep on chirping our message until people who want to see a message that how to make a difference. And so that's what today is about. Linde, I rambled on a bit. Back to you.
Okay, thank you for setting the scene for us, Emmanuel. Right, shall we jump into our presentation and share with everyone? Okay, great.
So again, thank you for that introduction, and thank you to everybody that is here today. Pierre has also joined us. So the message there is how to make a difference. Now, on our website, we have for several years had the message, are you interested to make a difference? And over the years, people gave us their names, they want to make a difference. And we are now here today going to tell how you could make a difference. So at Peace Evolution, we have what we call the inner peace recipe. So Peace Evolution has what we call an inner peace recipe, and we are going to talk about that in depth today. But we are talking specifically, as you see there, are you a subject matter expert in any one of these roles on YouTube? So that's where we want to start today. I'm just going to jump in straight away, and then we are going to back out a little bit and sketch a further background about, if your answer is yes, that you are such an expert, which roles are we interested in? And then also, what are we going to do with those roles? So let's have a look. The first one that we are talking about is, are you a YouTube channel expert? We are not experts on YouTube. It may look as if we are experts, but we are not. We are learning slowly, slowly. We are learning, but we're looking for somebody who understands YouTube and is an expert on the channel. And if you are, and our message today resonates with you, please, we want to hear from you. The next role that we are also looking for is a YouTube networker. I'd like to stand for a moment on a YouTube networker. The idea is we are now, as a startup, slowly, slowly, slowly getting our message to the world. And what we would like to do is get our message to the world by inviting a networker that's already an established networker to come and join our videos, our live streams. And we would also like to be invited to their live streams, to their video making process. And if you are a networker and you have had thoughts of wanting to make a difference and you don't know how, please reach out to us, and then we are going to tell you what the organization is about, how it works, and then you could get us some places where we could go for an interview or where other influencers could come and be interviewed by us. This is a serious business for us. If you look at my face, I'm full of smiles. Notwithstanding, this is serious business, and there was a time when I only knew serious. I only saw darkness, and I only knew serious, but that has changed. I want to acknowledge Linde. Please come onto the stage with me, Linde. So when I met Linde, I was in a very dark place because I had all this information to share about my discovery about how we could evolve inner peace for humanity so that we stop the things that we are doing to ourselves or to each other, because it starts with us. We are doing terrible things to ourselves as well. And after meeting Linde, slowly, she, like dragging hen's teeth or looking for hen's teeth, she asked me this question: Emmanuel, what about this? Emmanuel, what about that? And we spent an awful amount of time. And with each time we spent discussing peace evolution, she said, "Oh, Emmanuel, but we are talking about this. Oh, we are talking about this." So that's her speciality. She could take what I was talking about, hence the smile on my face, on a very tricky topic. Linde helped bring light into that dark world where I had a message and I had no clue what to do with that message. And then Linde joined. Thank goodness that our paths crossed. And so now I'm sitting here with a big smile. And what we are discussing today, of course, is very, very close to my heart. And we want to share that message through networking on YouTube. Linde, so anything from your side about when you met me and we started talking about that whole process of what I now call when you brought light into this very dark topic of how we don't have peace amongst humanity, and then now we have a message.
Yes, Emmanuel, thank you so much for sharing that. So, for me personally, this is what I really appreciate about this platform that we are creating, because I personally, I think things came to the fore or were highlighted for me about my own skills, talents, and temperament when I started working with peace evolution and collaborating with peace evolution. And part of that was, seeing the subject matter and how we can bring it in a clear way to the world, and I absolutely love doing that, and it's just something that seems to come effortlessly to me. So now imagine if all of us in the world can work like that. It's just absolutely amazing what happens, the synergy that is formed between people when each person shows up with who they are and that they're not afraid to be that person. So, yes, that's what I would like to add to what you just said.
Okay, Linde, thank you very, very much for two things: for bringing the light onto this topic. Thank you very much. And then also for what you just shared.
Pleasure.
Okay, so let me get on to the next part of it. So then we also would like to get our message out. At the moment, see it like this, one video at a time. And if we have a live stream host, somebody who could join us and take the information that we talk about, and where we are able to do two live streams at a time. And I don't mean physically at the same time, but it takes us a few days to prepare. Then we have the live stream, then we have some more follow-up work, and then we do the next live stream. I'm thinking let's have two such teams or three such teams, etc. So if you're a live stream host, knock on our door. The information is in the description below. And if you are a video host, let's say you are comfortable to interview people or to discuss a topic, we are going to work with you and you are going to understand our topic. It's tricky, but there is light. Linda made it easy to understand. And as we proceed, we could then have more regular live streams on different topics. And if you are also a video host, we could make more videos, all happening simultaneously. I would like to just share something Linda said to me at one point. Emmanuel, you better live another 40 years. And of course, that living another 40 years then ignited something else in me. I would like to see the difference. So at the moment, humanity, I see it very clearly in my mind's eye. Humanity does not understand the principles behind what we are doing today. They also don't understand the principles of how we evolve in a peace. Now, we are going to share that and why we would want further networking and live stream hosts and video hosts is we would like to get that message out en masse. And not only that, I'm selfish in the sense I want to see it while I'm still alive. Even if my head is shaking like this and I'm walking with my walking stick, I'd like to see how the how humanity starts seeing how to evolve inner peace, and we do that. Okay, so the next role that we're also looking at is video creator. Maybe you're able to create videos, and maybe a script writer. So we've got some script writers. They take our message, they write a script, and then we have a video host. However, this is done. So please remember now, I've watched many, 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 many videos, and I think I have an idea. And I'm saying, wait, maybe my ideas are a little bit skewed. However, if we have people who have the first-hand skills, they are subject matter experts in all these different YouTube roles. In that way, we're going to get the message out quick. Even in my time, as I said, I'm selfish here. I would like to see it. Then we also look at keyword analyzing. At the moment, our videos are not SEO aligned. We just talk off the cuff. We prepare some material, we talk off the cuff, and there's no keyword part of it. And we are, of course, wanting keyword experts, people who are able to do keywords. Then we talk about these things. Then the videos need to be post edited. And when we are doing one at a time, as I said now, we are able to manage. But if we scale this up now to 10 at a time, we of course need some post video editors. And we would also like to attract, if you are someone able to write posts in YouTube on the community tab, please reach out to us. And then at the moment, because we're a startup, And because of the business model that we follow, it works like this. Just because I'm able to do it, it doesn't mean I'm an expert. I do it. Just because Linda is able to do something, she's maybe an expert in this, but not an expert in that. We do it. And what we are looking for also is a product owner, somebody who understands how to take care of a product. And the product here is YouTube. And we would like you to also come and knock on our door. And then there is another one, and that is a business analyst. If you understand the business analysis, you would then work closely with a product owner, and I'm always going to be in the background somehow, not to interfere much. Our business model is set up in a way that we don't interfere in each other's domains. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be inquisitive and say, let's have a coffee, then you tell me about this or that. So the product owner would work with a business analyst so that we understand what each person needs to do. At the moment, we do all of that with very few people. And just as a matter of interest, my conventional job is being a scrum master. And whenever I work as a scrum master, we always ensure that these roles that I'm talking about now, the product owner and the business analyst, is part of such a product so that we understand the bigger picture and we have people dedicated to oversee those roles. Now you say, okay, but none of those roles, I have none of those roles. I'm not a subject matter expert in any one of those roles. But what about this, Emmanuel? What about that? Okay, please tell us. I don't know all the roles. The list is not exhaustive. You come and you tell us. Now, how are you going to tell us all these things? My email address is on YouTube. It's on our social media. It's on our website. Our website is peaceevolution.com, and so on and so forth. So this is now the YouTube that we are talking about, only on YouTube. We've got some more roles. I'm just going to stop for a moment and ask Linda to join us again and to maybe sum up or to say, Emmanuel, but wait, you forgot about this, you forgot about this, you forgot about this.
Yes, that list is definitely not all the, I guess, roles that we could think of, and you are welcome to let us know if there's anything else where you feel that can make a massive contribution in the sense of the YouTube circle that we operate in. So yes, don't have anything else to add from my side, Emmanuel.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Linda. So then let's look at the next point, and that is, are you a subject matter expert in these roles? So now we spoke about YouTube, now we are speaking about some other roles. And the first one I would like to say is we have not a big following, but we have a fair following on Facebook. We also have a fair following on YouTube and also a fair following on Twitter, or X as it's called nowadays. But we are looking for somebody to take ownership of it, to breathe life into those social media platforms so that it's done in a way where the full marketing spectrum is taken into the different social media platforms that we have, where it's cohesive. Just remember, we're a very small team and we are attempting to do all of this ourselves. And we're saying, wait. let's run with it. Let's run with it hard. So that's the social media. Then we say, if you understand backlinks, please join us. We'd like to expand our backlink capability. So we have many, many people that find us all over the show, all pointing to our channel. The other role we are looking for is a webmaster. So we do all of this ourselves today. So if this message resonates with you you are you are saying, wait, you want to join our inner peace recipe, and also you have the notion of wanting to make a difference. Here you are able to make a difference, and you don't have to know anything other than what we're going to tell you here today. So, from a point of view, let's get back to the other roles. So we talk of the webmaster. At the moment, it would be very interesting if we could also, at the same time, expand on our website. We've got many things we want to do, but we don't have so many people doing it. And we are a startup. And then we are also looking for a product owner, let's say, for Peace Evolution per se. So I see a day when we have several product owners and they all would be taking care of certain products, and they would also collaborate with each other so that there's cohesion and synchronicity. And again, also a business analyst, and the same applies for the business analyst. Then we are also saying, are you a content writer that and you understand SEO content so that we write interesting articles all about our topic, all about evolving inner peace from all the different stances that it's possible, and you are that person, please reach out to us and we are going to inform you and give you all the background. And you're going to see now you're going to also do an onboarding course. So we're going to get to that in a moment. And then we say, are you a landing page writer? You understand SEO, you understand SEM, and you are able to write landing pages? Please visit us. Tell us about it. You might be a marketing expert. Join us, please. Email marketing expert and also a sales expert. And I'm going very quickly now on all of these, and you might be an expert in something else, and we'd like to know about you. Now, I'd like to just talk a little bit more about these different roles. So, assuming we were a startup, and assuming we got venture capital, and assuming we went to the bank for a loan, or let's say we got a philanthropist backing us, then of course it's a different story. We would have all the money in the world to do this and just go out on a recruitment drive. In my conventional world, I have gone out on very many recruitment drives. I understand that world very well. However, we said, due to not wanting to be beholden to anybody, and so that we are able to do what we are doing here, we don't want external finance. So we are going to talk in a minute or two, we are going to talk about how our financial model and our business model works So hold on, it's just around the corner. So now what we're going to talk about is what we call collaborative partners. So when Linda and I built the building blocks, we said we are not an employer-employee company. We are none of that. We are disrupting many things. So we also, whatever we earn, we share. There's nobody here who's the boss, who's the employer. I'm going to talk more about that in a moment. And everyone working with Peace Evolution, we said, is a collaborative partner. We collaborate on all things, and I'm going to discuss a little bit more detail about that. The long and the short of the story is we are collaborative partners. We work together, and the collaborative partners are the lifeblood of Peace Evolution. So it's not a matter of that we have employees, as I said, the collaborative partners all collaborate to achieve our message. So collaborative partners run Peace Evolution based on a business model, a financial model, and governance. We are going to also elaborate on that in a moment. The long and the short of the story is we formulated the building blocks, I would say very clearly, that we have a financial model, and that's how we understand everything to do with money at Peace Evolution. We have the business model, how we operate, etc. Then we've got the governance, which we are going to elaborate on as well. And for the rest of that, we then work autonomously. So each one of us has some speciality, and we collaborate and we work autonomously. Peter does not have to ask Paul, is it okay if I do this? May I do this? No. You do it. So it's not a matter of that you need to have permission from anywhere. We collaborate, we have a governance, and we are going to elaborate on that. I'm sure that Linda is going to ask me some questions about that now. And while we stay within the governance, and let me just give a simple example. Where I stay, it's okay for me to put up a picture in the lounge, but I can't go to my neighbor's house and put a picture there. So here in Peace Evolution, we have a similar thing called governance, where each person or people would be responsible through the governance for a domain. And as a result of that, we know that this is what we work on, this is where we are specialists, and if we want something done in another domain, there are processes in place of how we do that. But for the rest, we work autonomously. And then when we talk of earnings, as you see there at the bottom, each each team of 8 people share the income that those 8 people are directly responsible for, or that they created. This is a big deal to understand all the nuts and bolts. But let me just say this: every person here has the responsibility of being part of an organization where every 8 people create income. We share that income in amongst the 8, and there are T's and C's, and the earnings is very well defined in our governance. And then I'd like to take it to another point where we say, but now this team of 8 people did this or that. There's another team of 8 people who did something else. There's another team of 8 people responsible for something else. So now there are these multiple teams of 8 people and we work autonomously. Now, let us assume that this team of 8 people don't have, and I want to use a simple example, brand experience. But the brand experience, the brand development experience is in this team of 8. Now, what we then do is this team will reach out to this team to come and do some brand work. Let me give another example. This team has got no expertise about web development, but the web developer and developers sit in this team. Now, this team needs some work done on the web. They would reach out to this team. And so, in that way, we collaborate between the teams so that we have all the different roles. This is called cross functional teams. And so we are able to work within the governance in that way, and people are responsible for their area of expertise, which we call a domain. Then we look at the next one, and that is anybody who says, yes, they are interested and they reach out to us. We are then going to have discussions back and forth. You might have 17 questions. We might have 25 questions. Eventually, when all of that is done and we're comfortable, the very first thing that you would do is what it talks about there, the collaborative partner online digital course. You are going to undertake that course, and it's not, and there are quizzes, and the idea of the course is that you could, on your own, go through the course and be asked questions so that where you know absolutely nothing of peace evolution, once you've finished with that course, I think there are 8 objectives. I forget now exactly how many objectives. It could be more. Oh, there we are. Thank you, Linda. How many objectives are there? Just scroll a little bit. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It wouldn't surprise me if it's around about 8 or 9, maybe 10. Linda, how many objectives are there?
I think it's 9, Emmanuel.
Okay, so I wasn't far out. Thank you,
Yes.
Linda. So you are able to take part in that course, and then from knowing very, very little or almost nothing, you understand when you're finished with that. And it's not to catch you or to say, no, if you don't pass it, um, you can't join peace evolution. It's to fast track your understanding. And if you are not really a fit, or peace evolution is not a fit for you, it's going to become evident very quickly during that digital course where you are now able to firsthand on your own fast track. And that doesn't mean that you can't ask questions. No, no, no. You're going to ask questions as you get them. There are formal processes where you ask your question. The next thing that we talk about there is we said we share the earnings. Now, there are T's and C's, in which we describe exactly how the earnings work, and also there is a governance within which we make that money that comes from our activity. So if you look at a conventional environment, a regular company, they've got income centers and cost centers. And here with Peace Evolution, we said everybody in their role somehow plays a part in creating income. So we only have income centers, no cost centers. Um, every center is an income and a cost center, but we don't call them centers. We call them circles, which we are going to also elaborate on our online digital training course. The other thing to note is Peace Evolution is not owned by anyone. I happen to be the founder. I am not the owner of Peace Evolution. We are busy with the necessary paperwork to so that it's very, very well and clearly defined that there is no owner of Peace Evolution. It works like this. It's a company for humanity, by humanity. And how we do that is we have another role. So we've got the collaborative partners, but we also have the custodian role. And part of the custodian role, we then say a custodian is somebody who understands the whole bigger picture, is someone who understands the vision very well, but to the extent that when we invite them to become an a custodian, they say, yes, I am interested in being a custodian. Here at Peace Evolution, we don't tell anybody you have to do this role, you have to do this role, you have to do this role. If a role and its governance resonates with you, you then energize that role, is our terminology. So if you are interested in being a custodian, the role is described, you would say, yes, this is for me. I would like to become a custodian. And also, I'd just like to say on this role thing, I'd like to add something else. If a person takes up a role and in 6 months from now says, this is not it, I saw this other role, nothing stops you from running with both those roles. Or you stop the one role and you skill yourself up and you run with the other role. So in our business model, you could, through our governance, maybe have 10 roles. And the process that we follow for this, there's a lot of documentation on the internet, and you are able to read up on that and understand exactly how that governance works. So there is the custodian, and they are there to safeguard the vision and also to ensure that the succession of Peace Evolution is baked into our model. Now, how did that come about? In my introspection journey, I came to a situation where I said, I really don't want, when I one day die, that this stops. And this was one of the other things where Linda and I discussed it. We looked at it, we looked at the dictionary, we looked at the right words, and we came to the role of custodian. And so the custodians would be taking care of all the aspects of the business, as I said there, at the simplest form. They would be taking care of ensuring the vision, ensuring the succession is baked in. They are also the shareholders of the business, but very, very well defined, not as owners, just the responsibility of the fiduciary duties and also of the bank accounts, etc. So if you are that way inclined and you have that expertise, there is a role that you could eventually say, oh, this role resonates with me, etc. If we take another aspect, we use the metaphor of we are building the plane while we are flying it. So that means that as and when we are doing anything, there's the plane. Thank you, Linda. There's the plane. So, as the Wright brothers, I'm imagining in my mind's eye they would develop something about a plane. They would go and test it. It won't work. They would go back into their shed and they would develop some more and go out, and that doesn't work. It even falls off the plane. And so it went on. They may have worked right through the night. We've never worked through the night here yet. Maybe that might still come at some point. But it's a matter of iteratively, we are working on peace evolution in a way that we work within the metaphor of we're flying the plane while we're building it. And if the seats are not tied down or all the seats are not in the plane, it doesn't mean we're not going to go for a test ride. If all the windows are not closing properly, doesn't mean we're not going to go on a test ride. So slowly, 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 we are going to get the plane running in a way that it's out of flying the plane while we're building it mode. But then we're just going to do something else in the same vein. Linda, so that is the part of the collaborative partners. Anything from your side that you feel we should talk about?
Yes, I'm asking on behalf of our viewers. So the autonomous role, Emmanuel, does that mean I can do what I want to do?
Okay, that's a good question. That's a good question. I'd also like, Pierre, if you have any points, just bring it to Linda's attention, and we are going to bring you into the studio, etc., etc., etc. Linda, so you asking such a pertinent question. The emphasis is doing what I want. Now, the answer to that, the very short and strict answer to that is no. But what are you then in your autonomous role doing? Okay, I got to elaborate on this a little bit. So, and we are going to get to some of it later on, but for the moment, let us just keep it brief. As you join here, you are going to have certain skills, certain talents, certain temperaments, and then also in our conventional life outside of peace evolution, without you ever hearing about peace evolution and how we work here, you are going to want to protect your domain. You're going to want to say, this is my domain. Nobody comes and scratches here. Maybe you are someone who is a control freak. Now, here, we don't work like that. We say, moment for moment, with every breath that we take, we like what we do. And consequent, and that is a very different thing to I'm doing what I want. So, in the space of liking what you do, you would also see that that control freak, this is my domain, nobody's going to come and scratch here. We very respectfully we have a governance that's very respectfully going to ask you, could we ask you to, no, not could we asking you to do this. And you might contemplate it and say, I haven't got capacity to do that. I don't see why we should do that. And we have a formal process And eventually we're going to say, oh, you know what? Okay, we don't need to do that. But I'm just touching the surface of this very interesting topic of what Linda asked me. She certainly asked an interesting question. There are other things as well. For instance, we talk, all you need is your skills, all you need is your temperament and your talent, but you won't know what it is that you like doing. Okay, so I don't want to, it's not about I'm doing what I want, it's I like what I do. Now, there is a divide to be able to understand that. And we also cover here what is necessary for you to understand the difference between doing what I want and liking what I do. We're going to cover some of it today. So you're always going to like what you are doing, and you are going to do that gracefully in the service of yourself, 100% in the service of yourself, while we are evolving in a peace for with humanity. And also, you're going to see a little bit later where we say the acid test to see whether you are doing what you want or liking what you do. We have the statement which says, are your actions and behavior for the benefit of everyone and everything? If that's not the case, you are probably not evolving in a peace. Linda, so that was a tricky way of me answering this question without deviating too far from our presentation. Are you comfortable? Would you like me to elaborate a little bit more? Your thoughts on my response?
No, I think you elaborated really nicely, Emmanuel. So, in summary, it's not about just doing what you want, it's about liking what you do. So, it brings a complete different energy to how you actually do things. So, I would actually also like to share. It made me think of, so at Peace Evolution, we've adopted the holacracy model, and we actually spoke about that quite extensively in our previous discussion, where we spoke about Peace Evolution and we spoke about the collaborative partner opportunities. You can go and watch the replay. Let me just bring it up. There we go. Want to make a difference and don't know how? You can just go to our YouTube channel and go and watch the replay of that, and you'll hear about all the details. So coming back to what it reminded me of is that Emmanuel, you often speak of the hand and how this hand organically operates. So let's think about this for a second. If the brain had to give the pinky finger a permission every single time to do something, can you imagine the stagnation in our movement? So this pinky finger, just show it like that, organically operates on itself, by itself, and autonomously. So I think that is a good analogy to use. It doesn't have to ask the brain every single time, am I allowed to lift my pinky finger now or not? And in the same way, that is how collaborative partners come together. and autonomously operate in this body called peace evolution. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Linda. Very nicely put. I love that pinky analogy.
Pleasure.
Okay, shall I trot further?
You may.
Okay. So now what we are going to talk about is what we need to make a difference. So we've now said we are looking at these roles, we are talking about the collaborative partners. Now, what do we need? Very simply, of course, we need a reliable laptop or desktop. We need a reliable internet network. In some countries, it's extremely reliable. In other countries, not so. For instance, here where I stay, I need two networks so that if the one fails, the other one is still okay. Usually. Sometimes they both fail at the same time, but usually we need reliable electricity. Here where I stay, we don't have reliable electricity, so we even have failover electricity, like needing a UPS. The other thing we need is to be financially stable. So when joining Peace Evolution, because in the first period, while you with your colleagues put something together, let's say something on YouTube, and the eight of you would be doing this piece of work, whatever that might be. Now, until such time as that earns, Peace Evolution is not paying salaries. It's very well defined in our T's and C's, in our onboarding, and of course, when we are in discussion with each other, we are going to talk about that more. Now, for that period of time, however long that period of time is, you would need to sustain yourself financially. So we're saying you need financial stability. And the other thing is to have at least 60 hours spare capacity per month. So we take it that you might be a retiree, then you've got lots of capacity, or you might be a person working in a full-time job. In some conventional job, you might have your own business, whatever the case might be. Now, we have experimented with this where where some of people who joined us don't have that capacity, and then they are taxed in terms of they want to be part and they're not able to be part, and they can't get anything done because they've got too little capacity. So we then said, okay, we feel someone with a minimum capacity of 60 hours spare capacity. I would like to just elaborate on this. So in the first part of my life, I, of course, in my conventional job, earned a living, to pay the bills and to have a little bit of extra. In another phase, when I started putting the building blocks of Peace Evolution together, of course, that cost me money. So, and time. So I would do a day job, come home from the day job, and spend time on Peace Evolution, on developing the building blocks. Now, look at it like this. Let us say that you are studying, you've got a conventional job, you're studying something part time. It means you've got to plan very, very well. And if you don't plan it very well, you won't have time to do your studies. If you are serious about studying, whatever you are studying, you would make a plan to do the day job and also to set aside certain structures within which you could study. Let's say you're an athlete and you're going to take on a big marathon. If you don't take the time, if you don't set the time aside to be able to get that train for that marathon, or whatever it might be, you might be like, for instance, people who are not professional sports people. They, of course, need to fund that and also put aside the time. Now, here, what we're saying is if you don't, if you're not able to put aside at least 60 hours a month, then this is going to be very difficult for you. And we have done that. And of course, it doesn't work where somebody has less time. Linda, so I'm finished with this side of it. Any questions that you, or anything that you want to add, or shall I go on to the next point?
Yes, I just want to add that, like any organization has a infrastructure. So, in a similar way, that's just setting up the foundation. Like Emmanuel said, we are, a startup company. So we are building the plane as we go. And in order to do that, we need certain things in place. So each collaborative partner needs to have those things in place to, come and assist us to evolve in a peace for humanity. And that's what it comes down to. So, yeah, that's just what I wanted to add.
Okay, thank you, Linda. So I'd just like to add something that we forgot, Linda, on our previous live stream, but just as well I remembered it now. All our positions are remote. We don't have offices. Each person works from home, works remotely, but that doesn't mean we are not planning to at some point have what I would like to call academies. We might have an academy in Spain, and that academy would be set up for certain very specific things. And you might be someone living in Spain and you might want to join and actually work in the office. That's fine. But you could also work in America, stay in America and work with Peace Evolution. And we still have to, at some point, get to the point of how we're going to handle the time zones. But I understand we're just taking one thing at a time. We're flying the plane while we're building it. And at some point, we would not only be working remotely online. But it would only be if it resonates with you and you prefer to go to the office, then you would be welcome to join any of our academies. Linda, then I'm moving on to anything else you need to make a difference. So you need your existing skills, you need your existing talents, your existing temperament, no more than that. Of course, you need intention. Without intention, you won't be able to make the smallest difference about anything. You also need courage. At Peace Evolution, and we have videos and material on the subject, you are not going to be able to be part of Peace Evolutions evolving in a peace recipe if you don't have courage. You would need the courage, for instance, to understand you You energize the role that resonates with you, and then you work autonomously there. So you need that courage. You also need brutal honesty. Without courage and brutal honesty, you are not going to understand any of what we do here at Peace Evolution. Please remember, at the moment, humanity is only chasing money. We are disrupting that altogether, absolutely altogether. We're gonna talk about that as well. It's not about that this is for the faint-hearted. We are standing up and we're making a statement. We are saying, humanity, the way we are living our lives is not conducive for peace. We have got a recipe, and to be able to step change to that recipe, anybody who's interested, you need courage and brutal honesty. And that courage is to be able to take the steps that's needed to switch, to make the step change from where money is our primary objective to liking what I do is the primary objective and money is a secondary objective. So that's where the honesty comes in. You would also not fit in if you are not interested to recognize your purpose. Here we are going to, we come into that in a moment, but you are going to recognize your purpose. You are also going to craft your vision. And what we say here is, let's look at this point very carefully. We understand that this is very, very strange, very, very foreign. You are certain not to have heard most or almost all of what we are talking about here. This evolving inner peace is a way of life. It's not something you do Monday to Friday or 8 to 7 or 8 to 5. This is a way of life. It's not something that I look up in a book. Oh, what should my behavior be? No, no, no. We are going to assist and facilitate you, and the purpose and the vision is a way of life. And that's the only way we are able to evolve inner peace. It's not something that I do, let's say, as I said now in office hours, it's 100% completely a way of life. So if I go back to that point, it's a way of life forever. You collaborate with Peace Evolution to evolve inner peace with humanity, starting with yourself. Now, that forever doesn't mean that you are going to be with us and you can't say, okay, I've I've been here now, I'm leaving. That's fine. That's fine. Anybody's free to resign at any time. But the point we want to make is this is not something that you do, it's something that you are. If we take it a step further, as that point says there, if you don't have a vision yet, it's about us facilitating you to recognize your purpose, to craft your vision, and that is how you are going to see what it is that you like doing. You can't sit and scratch your head and say, oh, I like doing that. That probably falls under, let me give a simple example. I want a red car or a blue car. A car is just transport from A to B. All these values that we put, it has to be this type of car, it has to be that type of car, it has to be a red car, it has to be a blue car, is not really about what living a life of meaning is about. So these are all things that's locked up in Peace Evolution's inner peace recipe. Linda, so that is the end of this point. Anything else you need to make a difference? Do you have any questions or think that I skipped anything?
Emmanuel, I think you touched on the most pertinent points there. Yes, I think what really just stands out for me again is that this is something that then becomes a way of life. And I think just to elaborate on that, when you transition to your first choice self, it's you are automatically living your meaning. You are automatically living your purpose. So the beauty of what this platform facilitates is that you as a collaborative partner get to now in that space craft your vision for your life so that you can live that meaning and so that you can automatically bring yourself to your life in the sense of how the pinky automatically and organically just does what it does, which is part of the body. So yes, for me personally, that's very exciting, and it's exciting in the sense that we are an organization that is breaking the status quo in the sense of how organizations operate. And yeah, for me, that's very exciting and beautiful and wonderful. But that could be just me. Anyone is welcome to comment and tell me. Maybe I'm crazy, but yeah, that is what we are trying to, or that is what we have here at Peace Evolution.
Thank you, Linda, for those comments. Very interesting comments. And I would just like to remind our viewers that they are more than welcome to support us. There would be two reasons for supporting us. It resonates with you, number one, and number two, you might not want to come and make a difference with us. However, you want to in some way support us. So when you're watching the replay video, we would be more than happy if you support our channel, as Linda shows there on the screen, that you give a thanks to us, and that would be part of how we would sustain and evolve inner peace. Linda, so your comments are well taken. Thank you. And I am now going to, okay, I'm now going to the very last part of our presentation. Where is our focus right now? So we covered a whole lot of things now, but where is Peace Evolution's focus? So as you could see from the roles that we spoke about at the beginning of this live stream, our focus is to scale Peace Evolution's YouTube channel. We just started it. It's probably 2-3 months ago. June, let's say June. June, it's probably more than 3 months. We started it in June, and we now see we're beginning to understand a little bit of how it works, but it's now super important that we realized YouTube is the place where we are going to, with what YouTube offers, proliferate our message and provide people with this interesting information about evolving inner peace. So our very first focus is to scale Peace Evolution's YouTube channel, and we are using force multipliers. One of them that I mentioned, or two of them that I mentioned, is that as we are networking, we are going to be interviewed, and we are going to interview people that are already influencers. Our message resonates with them, and instead of us just slowly spreading the message in that way as a force multiplier, in other words, with relatively small effort, we are going to reach many more people and grow our YouTube channel exponentially. Other is at the moment, let's say we make one video at a time, but if we have a few live stream hosts, and if we have a few people who are able to do interviews on YouTube, or are comfortable in creating videos containing the message of peace evolution, we are in that way, instead of doing one, we could be doing 10 at the same time. I'm just giving examples. So that's what we're after at the moment. And as you all know, that is also going to be part of how we are going to earn to sustain peace evolution financially. So that is the one. Then we are looking for subject matter experts. That's why we've got this live stream today. Earlier on in the week, we had another one where we spoke about the company and the different models, where we elaborated on those. And then we've also got the, right now, one of the biggest things that we are focusing on is to get all people working at Peace Evolution. At the moment, we've got our day jobs, our conventional jobs, and we work here as a startup. Our focus is now that we are going to start creating the financial self-sustainability, that we are self-sustaining financially, that we are able to work here full time and not needing to, as this point says here, I, as the founder, I'm currently bootstrapping the business. If you're not sure what that means, please have a look on the internet what that means. And we want to stop that now altogether. And our focus is right there on us being able to have a financially self-sustaining business. Now, I'd like to elaborate on that next point a little bit more than what I have up to now. So, over years and 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 years, I had the I developed, I'm going to use that terminology, developed the building blocks just in my mind's eye. I met Linde. She assisted to bring those building blocks into easily understandable terminology. Some of it is not so easy, but it's good enough. And so we spent an enormous amount of time laying the foundation of peace evolution. Then one day we said, well, the next step is we better pull the plane out of the shed and see if it flies. We are now in that phase where we pull the plane out of the shed. We see if it's going to fly. Something's going to fall off. We're going to fix it. We're going to replace it. We're going to find something else that we forgot to put on the plane. We don't mind that. However, we want to now get to a point where all of us work full time and not having to have a conventional job, work conventionally. We want to be able to work full time with Peace Evolution as collaborative partners. And with that, we are then able to continue our financial stability of Peace Evolution as well as for ourselves. We don't have to study. If I come back to that analogy, have a job, study to do something. We are now at that point and we are focusing heavily on the transition that we are financially self-sustaining. And then, Linda, I think before I cover the next point, let us just ask, have you got anything to add? I think let's dedicate a little bit of time on that last point. Anything that you want to ask or add?
Yeah, I think we are in the midst of experiencing this firsthand. So, because we are breaking the status quo in so many areas for humanity, it is an opportunity for others to come along and witness this with us, which I think makes it very, very exciting for all of us. If you listen to most of our discussions we've had, we often refer to Emmanuel's journey where, he always either had time but no money, or money but no time to live his dream and live his meaning and live his purpose. And we are serious when we say that we can assist in the fact that we know how to balance making money and liking what you do, because we are living it firsthand here. You get to experience it on this platform or through this platform. And so it's all about bringing yourself, bringing your skills, bringing your talents, your temperament, and knowing that you need nothing to be yourself first. I think that is really important to remember. And also that you don't have to prove anything to be yourself. And that it's on this platform, that is the space that we are creating for people to feel safe, that they can be true to themselves, they can be themselves, they don't have to be afraid. Like Emmanuel says, that's why you need honesty and you need courage. But I promise you, we have lots of fun doing it. Absolutely lots of fun. So yeah, that's what I wanted to add, Emmanuel, for our viewers.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Okay, let's jump into this last part now. I want to dedicate a little bit of time to it. So, of course, here at Peace Evolution, the scale at which we contemplate doing things is not trivial. Let me give an example. What you see there is our next marketing drive is the artist inner peace recipe. I would like to elaborate. many, many years ago, John Lennon came out with a song called Imagine. Several years later, there was the Heal the World initiative, and artists were bringing their talents and their skills, and they were doing whatever they were doing, and John Lennon was doing whatever they are doing. Now, so we were putting together all the building blocks of peace evolution. Now our initiative is, as I mentioned there, where we're focusing. We are busy focusing on that we get peace evolution to be financially self-sustaining. So building blocks, financially self-sustaining, and then we're going out on a marketing drive where, as we today spoke about peace, about YouTube subject matter experts and other subject matter experts, we are then going to reach out to artists of any medium, music, any other forms, like maybe you paint portraits, or maybe you paint landscapes, any thing that an artist does, anything. And we are then going to take, let's say, the John Lennons, Imagine, and we are going to do the following. We are going to be on several world stages proliferating this message of evolving inner peace through people playing music, through any of the artist mediums that exist, and even some that don't exist yet. And we are not only going to sing or talk about the imaginate, we are also showing our inner peace recipe, how we are able to do that. So, of course, we are interested in how we are able to do that, and we are going to market that on the international stage and stages all over the world through our artist initiative. So if you're an artist and you already want to join us, please do. But that's going to be our next big thing. So building blocks, making it financially self-sustaining, and then we're going to go and say, artists, come along, join us. Let's talk, make, sing, sketch, paint, whatever it is that your medium is. Let us get the message to the world in mass. But we are also saying, for us to do that, we also are going to show how this is going to be done. And we are also going to assist and facilitate anyone who then is inspired by that and who that message resonates with, that they recognize their purpose, that they craft their vision, and they don't have to work at Peace Evolution, not at all. They won't need to be part of Peace Evolution. We are now at Peace Evolution going to slowly expand everyone working at Peace Evolution with Peace Evolution as a collaborative partner. But we also want to reach everyone else and tell them about it, and also assist them to get to a point where they like what they are doing, and where money is not the primary objective, but liking what I do is the primary objective. And that is the big next drive. If you already want to be part of it, let us know. It doesn't matter when we start. And that, in a nutshell, Linde, is what today's live stream is about. Any questions or points that you want to make on this last one? Being an artist yourself?
Yes, I think it's going to be interesting how that is in itself going to evolve and look. So looking forward to that, absolutely. Okay, great. So we've come to the end of our live stream. I just want to mention again that if you want to find out a little bit more about Peace Evolution and what we're about and our collaborative partner opportunities and the roles, please look at the replay on our YouTube channel. It's called Want to Make a Difference and Don't Know How. Have a look at that. And then we just want to remind you again that if you're watching the replay, we would appreciate a contribution or a thanks. Again, we are a startup organization and we're trying to get the message out there for the recipe of how to evolve inner peace for humanity. Okay, great. It was awesome to be live with you, Emmanuel. We don't have any comments from anyone or that I can see. So thank you all for joining and see you next time.